Meaningful Global Collaboration for Elementary Students by Carmen Richardson from Kamehameha Schools, Hawaii. Global Collaboration. In this presentation, I'm going to talk about the tools that we use to collaborate globally at our school, the projects, places, and people that we have collaborated with, how you can connect with other educators to start your own global collaborative projects, and why we find global collaboration so important and meaningful at our school. The tools that we use. We use Skype, VoiceThread, Edmodo, Wikispaces, Google Docs, Google Sites, Twitter, and many more, but these are the ones that will be highlighted throughout this presentation. I will be speaking about the different projects, places, and people that we have collaborated with. The projects listed on this slide are the ones I will be talking about. I will talk about who we have collaborated with, what the project was about, what tools we used, and give examples and some videos of each project. The Mitten Project. This was a project that we did with classes in Florida, Canada, California, and Baltimore. This was a kindergarten and first grade project. With this project, we took the story The Mitten by Jan Brett and we created our own local versions of the story. The students rewrote the story with local animals as the characters. We Skyped with each class, we wrote our own version, we shared it digitally, and then we Skyped with them again. On the bottom of this screen is a very short excerpt of one of our versions of The Mitten called The Boogie Board.
A dolphin had a nice swim until he saw the boogie board. The dolphin poked his nose on the boogie board, and the other animals moved over. Then a mono with big sharp teeth came by. The animals were scared and made room.
Website Pals. This was a project that we did with a school in a town called Sharon in Massachusetts, and Sharon is near Boston. We've had different topics in the past 2 years with different classes: animals, weather, learning buddies, aliens. We've used Wikispaces and Google Sites to create our websites, and we've also Skyped with them. On the left side of the screen is a screenshot of our Animals of Hawaii and Massachusetts wiki. And this is the home page of the wiki. You can see that we embedded a Google map of each of our schools. We put the times and the weather. And you can see on the menu on the left side of the screenshot that we have pages where the students were able to ask questions to each other, where they put videos of them introducing themselves, and then they put projects that taught the other class about the different animals of their state. On the right side of the screen is our Alien Exchange Google site. In this project, we also had pages for students to ask questions and introduce themselves. But on this screenshot, you can see that the main purpose of this project was the students drew an alien, they wrote a description, they shared that description with their partner in the classroom in the other state, and then their partner tried to draw their picture based on their description. And in most cases, the pictures turned out to be very, very similar. Here are 2 more screenshots from our project with the school in Sharon Heights Elementary. As you can see, there is a wall wisher embedded in the Animals of Hawaii and Massachusetts wiki. That's how we had the students ask questions of each other. They used wall wisher, and then they Skyped each other to answer the questions. And on the right bottom here, you see one page of our Learning Buddies wiki where they gathered information about the time of the sunrise and sunset in each location so they could compare how much daylight each place in the U.S. had. It was a very exciting project and we learned a lot. Baltimore Buddies. The great thing about doing so many collaborative projects is that you find special schools and special people and Cromwell Valley Elementary School in Baltimore, Maryland is one of those schools. The project I'm going to talk about right now is one that our 5th graders did. It was a collaborative story writing project, and we used Skype, Edmodo, and Google Docs in this project. And on the top right, the picture on the top right, you can see is a screenshot of us on the news in Baltimore. During one of our Skypes, there was a news crew there, and we made the local ABC News. We were so excited. On the bottom left, you can see is a screenshot of 2 students communicating on Edmodo. So they used Edmodo to brainstorm ideas for their writing. In Edmodo, we were also able to post links to the Google Docs that they used to write their actual story. An essential part of the Baltimore writing project was the fact that they were able to Skype quite a bit with each other. So in this video, you're going to see some pictures and video clips of their Skyping adventures.
He runs fast.
Dirt dusting everywhere.
Dirt dusting everywhere.
Ice cold from different worlds. Has a clan of ice ninjas.
Defense. Silence. And one.
Hawaii and Wales side by side. This was a very exciting project, and we've collaborated over the past 2 years with this school in Wales. We've done legends, we've talked about language, traditions, culture. We've used Google Docs, Skype, Edmodo, ePouts, and even Twitter. On the left side of the screen, you can see an example of how we use Twitter. When I was in school with my students, the teacher in Wales would get on Twitter, and we'd be able to sit at the carpet and watch him send messages over Twitter, which was very fun. And you can see here he's saying, we tweeted to him that we were almost done with our legends, and he was saying that they couldn't wait to see them, and then telling us that their legend was uploaded, which I will be showing you on the next slide. On the right side of the screen, you can see is a screenshot of an ePals letter. So they also communicated using ePals, which is like an email service for students. So it's totally teacher controlled. This is one of the legends that they created for us. They uploaded it to the internet so that we could view it. So this is their school emblem. And I talked about what a legend was. And this legend that they shared with us was about a brave dog who helped save his master's child's life. So they wrote out the legend for us, and they drew pictures. But on each slide, they also recorded their voices saying the pictures. And I'm just going to play one of them for you.
Gerhart's body was buried outside the castle walls. Close to the river, the huge stone slab, inscribed with Gerhart's name, still marks the grave, and the village nearby still carries the name Ben Gerhart, Gerhart's grave. Made by Pound of Bread in primary school.
One of the most exciting events in this project with Wales was the fact that we did get to Skype with them.
Wow, you all have some lovely, lovely names. Okay, we'll introduce ourselves now. Let's go roll by roll. You can start.
Hi, my name is Malia.
It's fantastic to finally meet up with you, especially with the 10 hours difference.
I know, it's amazing.
We've really enjoyed working with you the past term, and we thought your digital stories were fantastic.
I'm lucky I live in... During the planning process of this, we thought, well, let's get some ideas. What would other people talk about? So we wrote a blog post and we tweeted it out, and we got some responses to our blog post, and this was in 3rd grade, about what people loved about the places they lived in. And it was very neat for students to be able to see how people from all over the country and world were communicating with them. So here's a post from a teacher in Pennsylvania saying that she's sure it's very different than Hawaii, but she loves the seasons. This is Mrs. Sure, and she lives in Wisconsin, and she talked about the Mississippi River and again about the 4 seasons. And Mrs. Watanabe talked about Arizona and the Superstition Mountains. And you can see some replies there from my students. And finally, Cybrary Man. He talked about how he has been to every single state, and we thought that was awesome, so we had to respond to that. But that was a very interesting project because it allowed us to see other parts of the country through other people's eyes. In our Across the USA projects, which there have been a few of, we've used multiple tools. We did a Chat Across the USA project, which primarily used Skype. We were involved in a couple VoiceThread projects with classes from other places in the world. This is one example of a VoiceThread that multiple students from multiple states participated in. So you can see this is the title page that gives the title, and there's a teacher here that gives instructions as to what students should do for the project. I'm going to go on to show you a few of the pages in the VoiceThread. On this page, students, and you can see each of these icons on the side, is a voice comment, a video comment, or a written comment from the student about what appears on this slide. So you can see each of these red little dots or stars is where each of these students is from. I'm going to go ahead and go to the physical features slide and show you just a couple examples of the comments that students made about the physical features of their state.
There are many physical features in Massachusetts. One physical feature is Mount Greylock in Blue Hills. They are both either a hill or a mountain.
Our Tahitian Friends project has been very exciting. We've shared our language, our culture, different songs and chants, and this has been done primarily through Skype. And I'm going to play the short video that shows some clips of different grade levels Skyping with them.
Satu sosok prapergian frase. Oh, they are shy today. Ya orana.
My name is Caitlin. Hi, my name is Krista.
3, 2, 1.
San Francisco, Hui Imua. This was a collaboration between one of our 5th grade classes at Kamehameha Schools Hawaii and a high school human anatomy class at Drew High School in San Francisco. In addition to the Skype sessions that we did with Mr. Cully's class in San Francisco, we used Edmodo as a way for the students to communicate anytime they wanted with each other. So we created a group in Edmodo, we called it Hui Imua. Hui is group in Hawaiian and Imua means forward. So they were helping us move forward with our learning. And the main page of the group was a general discussion area. Mr. Cully or I would post questions, the kids would ask questions, and anyone in either of the classes would respond. We also decided to make small groups so that kids would have a way to get to know each other on a deeper level. And in their small groups, they posted information about themselves, getting to know each other. And then we moved on. Students picked a topic within human anatomy and decided to think of some questions and presented that to the San Francisco students, and then the San Francisco students took that and created websites for our students in Hawaii so that they could learn about the topic they were interested in. So one of the neat things about Edmodo is that we could also create folders where it was easy for students to access various links. So I'm going to click on website links here, and I'm going to go down to Bones, and I'm just going to show you quickly. This is one example of a website that the San Francisco kids created for us. There are multiple pages on the site, and this group was talking about bones and how bones are alive. It was very engaging and very exciting for our 5th graders in Hawaii. And there have been many more projects. My contact information is at the end of this presentation, so if you have any questions or you would like more examples, please feel free to contact me. And so the question that I get asked quite often is, how do you connect with these other classes? Well, there's a variety of places that you can go to. For Skyping, I'd say the #1 place is the Skype in the Classroom website. I believe it's education.skype.com, but you could Google Skype in the Classroom and it will take you right there. So many resources there, different ways to connect with teachers. You can create your own lessons and people will sign up for them. It's an awesome resource. ePals, which you saw we used with Wales, and we've used a couple other times as well, is a great way to have students start emailing each other. You can also make connections on there that they don't have to be email projects. You can email a teacher that's on ePals and say, could we Skype with your class, or could we do this with your class if you have other ideas. There are also groups in Edmodo that you can connect with that will give you awesome resources and also great connections to start doing more projects. On Twitter is also a great place to meet people who are all about collaboration. EdChat, Global Ed, EdTech, First Chat, Second Chat, Third Chat, LM Chat. There are a lot of educational hashtags that you can use to connect. If you're very interested in global connections, Global Ed is probably your best bet. And finally, why do we collaborate globally? It seems to me that if we don't start allowing our students to collaborate globally, we're not giving them the kinds of experiences they need to prepare them. So 21st century skills, of course, it helps them with creativity and critical thinking and communication and problem solving. But for us as students from Hawaii, as Native Hawaiian students, to be able to share our culture has been one of the greatest things that we've gotten out of these projects. To share who we are, to have an audience that appreciates us, it's been extraordinary. It's helped us build our self-identity. We are a small little place, a tiny little dot in the Pacific Ocean. But as we look at a map and we can say, yeah, remember that class that we talked to in England and they lived over there, or in Wales and they lived there? Remember that class in Alaska? They have this self-identity that starts to grow and leads into a global perspective and helps them see how they can fit into a global world. When we challenge them, when we ask them to do new things, we are preparing them for the future. Please don't hesitate to contact me. On Twitter, I'm at edtechcarmen. You could email me, carichr@kspe.edu. Check out my blog, blogs.kspe.edu/carichr, or my website, carmenrichardson.com.